Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are going to be watching the video from. This is your friend Okpeyemi Stephen in the School of Learning and Development. So today I want to quickly explain, quickly walk you through on how to bypass the network requirement when installing Windows 11 on your hypervisor. When installing Windows 11 on your VM in the hypervisor, just how to bypass this network requirement, and also setting up the Microsoft account just temporarily, okay? Because I think these are what some people are finding very difficult to do at times. Maybe probably they just want to spin up a virtual Windows 11 virtual machine on their hypervisor, and then you're having difficulty. Maybe the network is not going, or you're just having. So how you can just bypass that network requirement and the setting up of the Microsoft account temporarily when installing your Windows 11 VM, okay, on your hypervisor. So this is my hypervisor environment here, as you all know. So when you come up here, and you come to this new here, and then you click on virtual machine. You click on that virtual machine. But before I do that, there's something I need you to note. When you are installing Windows 11 on your hypervisor, you need to make sure that the TPM, which is the trusted platform module, is being enabled on your this before you start. So just make sure you check it before you. So how do you do that? You go to your, you come up here, you come to your settings here, click on these settings here, and then you now come to security. When you click on security, you can see, make sure that this is being selected, okay? And even if it's been selected, when you spin up the virtual machine, if you get an error, come back to this place and also check. But you can see it's already been selected. This enable trusted platform module, okay? So I'm just gonna spin up a Windows 11 virtual machine now. So go back, click on your new, click on virtual machine, and then come over, click on your next, and come up here, you give it your name. Let me see, I'll say Windows 11 VM, and then click on where you want to store that particular virtual machine. Come up here, I'll browse my folder. I already have my folder here. I'll click on this, and then click on select. So, and then come up here, you can click on next. Now under here, you choose your specify your generation, which usually you click on this gen 2. That gives you the 64-bit guest operating system, which is actually the best. So click on here, come up here and click on your next. Then here you now assign a RAM to your virtual machine. So remember that anything you assign in the RAM, the disk space, it has to be in compliance. It has to be in regards to your host machine. Okay. So if probably on your host machine, so whatever you have, or maybe probably you are putting this on an external SSD hard drive. Okay. You can also put it on an external SSD hard drive if you want to put you can do that. So here I have to look at, okay, how many gig of RAM do I have on my system? So you need to know what gig of RAM you have on your host machine. Okay, so that will now determine what you're going to specify. If you have 4 gig, don't come up here and now specify 4 gig. That's not going to work. Okay, so here I'm just going to leave my own on 4 gig for now. Click on next, and then here I'll come up here and choose my network switch. Okay, my network switch. So I'll click on this network switch I've created. Click on my network switch, and then come up here, you click on next. When you do that, now this is where you now specify your hard disk space. Okay, so I will just assign 50 gigs to it. So if you have more, you can actually assign more, depend on what you want to use that particular Windows 11 virtual machine to do. Okay, so now click on your next again. Now here you now click on this install an operating system from a boot disk. So click on that, and then click on image file. You come up here, you browse and go where you have your Windows 11. So make sure you've already downloaded this ISO file from your from the Microsoft website. Okay, you download the ISO file there already. So come up here, click on open, and then you click on your next, and then you now come up here and click on finish. Now once I click on finish, before I run it, I'll go back again, right click on settings. Okay, I want to verify my TPM to make sure it's been. Can you see now? Can you see that it's not enabled on this particular virtual machine I'm trying to spin? So you can see that you have to make sure it is enabled. I think I created a video on how to enable this trusted platform, and I explain I explain a lot about it, so you can check my YouTube, one of my YouTube videos, and see and know more about that. But you need to make sure that this is being selected, okay? Otherwise, your Windows 11 might start giving you some error, and then you might be able to spin up that particular virtual machine. So you click on your OK, click on Apply, and then I'll click on OK, and then I'll come up here and I'll double click on that Windows 11. Now, when you are double clicking, make sure your hand is set on the keyboard where you need to press any key. Okay, so you come up here, you double click, and then you click on start. Once you are pressing start, make sure you press any key on your keyboard immediately. Okay, so you have to be fast in doing that. Okay, so press any key on your keyboard. Yeah, now once you do that, you come up here, you click on your next, and then here you now click on install. Now here you click on I don't have a product key because it's just a virtual machine. So here I'll click on my Windows 11 Pro. I'll now click on my next, accept, I'll click on next here, and then you can click on customize, and then come up here, you click on next. You can see the 50 gig are assigned to it. Okay, so that's the allocated disk space. Click on next, and then this will now start installing the Windows for you. So the reason why I'm doing this is because, as we all know, October this year 2025, Microsoft is doing the end of life for Windows 10. Okay, so for those who want to join a computer to domain, we who usually use Windows 10, so very soon Windows 10 is approaching the end of life, which is this month, October. So you might probably want to use Windows 11 to do that, and you might be having issue with that network requirement stuff. So how you can just bypass it for the meantime, and then once you install your virtual machine, then you can go back and then set up your account and then put it on the internet, and then that should be fine. So that is the reason why I'm actually just doing this video, to just enlighten those who are going to be using their Windows 11 to join uh, machine to join their machine to the domain. Okay, so let's wait while this file is almost done. So you can see it's fast. So it depends on, so make sure that you already your hard disk is the SSD. This will make it to be faster. If you're using HDD, it might take a long time to finish. Okay, your RAM also is very important, so make sure you have a good number of RAM before you can spin up a virtual machine. Maybe it's not only Windows 11, maybe your server, so any of the virtual machine, be your Linux. So make sure you already have space in your host machine to spin up any virtual machine, so that you don't have any issue when using it. Okay, all right, so now you can see our virtual machine is getting ready. Okay, it's getting ready now, so let's see how it goes. So you can see now, so now the machine has is still in progress. So you can see now it has brought us this to this particular place here. So from this place here, where you have select your country region, so you now come up here, you now on your keyboard, you press Shift F10. You press Shift F10. So once you press the Shift F10, now your Windows, your command prompt is going to come out here. So to bring out your command prompt, the under you now come up here and type OOBE, which is out of box experience. Out of box experience. And you put a slash, and then you say bypass NRO. So that NRO means network requirement option. Okay, so once you do that, you press your enter on your keyboard, and that will restart the machine. Enter, and then that will restart the machine. So once you press your enter, it will give you the option to be able to set up this your virtual Windows 11 virtual machine without using the Microsoft account. So that particular script is to bypass what the network requirement and setting up and using the Microsoft account, which is those are the steps you need to do that. So, but this one is to bypass it temporarily before you can now go back and then add it back. Then click on your yes, click on no, yes, then escape. Now you can see here now you can now click on this I do not have internet option. But if you don't do that, you might not be able to see this particular option here. So because I've bypassed that network requirement option and the Microsoft account stuff, so it's saying I do not, so I can now click on this. So you click on this, I do not have internet option, and then you come up here and now click on continue with limited setup. Continue with limited setup. Click on that. So once you click on that, now it will now give you an option to now put in the name you want to give that particular um the account, which is, so you come up here, let me give it, let me see, I want to give it a help text. I can come up here, click on next, then you set your password you want to for that virtual machine. Click on next, confirm the password again. You can decide to ignore if you don't want to put the password, so it's not compulsory, so it depends on you. So click on next. Here you now select your security questions. I can click on this, just give it then click on next, select another security question, give the answer, click on next, and your last security question, click on next. Then all this one say let's Microsoft and app use your location. Here I can just click on no, accept, click on no, accept, and here I can click on require only, accept, click on no, accept, click on no, accept, click on no, accept. Now it's now setting up my Microsoft, it's now setting up my Windows 11 virtual machine without setting up, without using the Microsoft account, which is going to ask you when you are setting that up. Why? Because of we have bypassed that network requirement. Like I said, this is just temporary. It's not advisable in production. Okay, this is just temporary. Just for those who are trying to spin up Windows 11 to make use of with their server when they need to join a window, when they need to join a PC to the domain. Okay, so now once I'm done with this, now I can now go and connect it to the internet. Now I can now make use of my Windows 11 virtual machine proper. Okay. Okay, so now you can see now this is my Windows 11 now. So I'm able to spin up my Windows 11 environment. So from here now I can now make use of this Windows 11 whatsoever I want to make use of it. So I can connect my internet to it and then use it when I want to. Okay, so this is how you can actually connect, how you can actually install your Windows 11 with bypassing the network uh, requirement. Okay, so I do hope you have learned one or two things from this video. Okay, so if you have any question, just put it on the comment section. I'll be there to answer your question. Thank you for taking out your time to watch this video. I remain your friend Okoyemi Stephen in the School of Learning and Development. I will see you some other times in my subsequent video. Thank you for taking out your time. And if you have not yet subscribed, I am just inviting you to the community. We love subscribers. Please make sure, endeavor to subscribe. Click on that bell, click on that notification button where you get notification whenever I upload any new videos. Okay, I want you to subscribe, share, comment, and then let's collaborate. I love to collaborate. Let's collaborate together. The space is open for everybody. Thank you for taking out your time. I will see you some other time. Bye bye for now.